The first of these being the Spring Champion Stakes, a 2,000-metre race for 3-year-olds at set weights. The lead-up races had been dominated by 3 New Zealand-bred colts, Grosvenor, Cossack Prince and Veloso. So naturally they dominated pre-post discussions. Once again, this trio proved a class above their contemporaries.
Cook's gone up there to pocket Grosvenor securely at the moment. Then about a length further back came Veloso, and at the head of the others, Lucky Sensory and Sky Cherub, and last is Admiral Lincoln. They've got about 700 to go, and Patton Prince on the outside just led from So Good with Mauna Loa 3 deep behind them. A length and a half to Greatness, and about 2.5 further back, Veloso off round the outside. Cossack Prince in the centre, and on the rails now is Dragnet. He's had to go 4 wide on Grosvenor to make ground, and then Lucky Sensory and Sky Cherub turning for home with about 400 to go. So Good is just the leader from Mauna Loa. Patton Prince, here's Grosvenor sweeping on them out wide, and Veloso going with him. Cossack Prince got held up for a run, now he's clear, but Veloso and Grosvenor have come away. Veloso ahead in front at the 200 from Grosvenor, a length to Cossack Prince going for an inside run. Veloso holding Grosvenor safely. Grosvenor trying to get on terms of having a crack at him now. It's Veloso about a half length, and Patton is holding Grosvenor, and Veloso's Too Good wins the Spring Champion by 3/4 of a length. Grosvenor second, ahead away third, Cossack Prince.
Is by the excellent French-bred but New Zealand-based sire Zamazan. He's trained at Randwick by Neville Begg and ridden by Sydney's #1 jockey Ron Quinton.
We saw in Sydney how dominant Veloso, Grosvenor and Cossack Prince had been in 3-year-old races. Now in Melbourne, they were at it again.
And got them away to a beautiful start. And Grosvenor got cut out slightly and is one of the last early with stablemate Chagamar. Mighty Manitou and Covetous and Fiesta Star, the early leaders from Barratry. Cossack Prince closest of the top fancies, and a length and a half to Wholesome now being sent forward from Ruling Blood. Veloso badly snookered. Then a length further back, Grosvenor, 2 to anchor in, and a couple of lengths to Chagamar. 800 out, and they're not going at all fast. Mighty Manitou joined by Covetous and Fiesta Star got up inside. Mighty Manitou is hanging. Half a length then to Barratry, followed a length top of the pack being urged along with the whip. Then a length further back, Wholesome coming around the outside. Cossack Prince has got snookered in the centre from Uncle Joe, Happy Road. Now Grosvenor pull to the outside, and they were followed then behind them by Veloso. In the straight, Fiesta Star joined Mighty Manitou with Covetous the outside, 2 lengths to top of the pack. They're followed by Wholesome and Cossack Prince under the whip. Grosvenor pulled out wide, starting to come home, and Veloso on the fence with 100 to go. Mighty Manitou with Grosvenor the outside, grabbing them quickly. Cossack Prince getting his bit, and Veloso on the rails. But Grosvenor's won it about a nick to Veloso. Half a length to Cossack. Grosvenor pulled to the outside, and they were followed then behind them by Veloso. In the straight, Fiesta Star joined Mighty Manitou with Covetous the outside, 2 lengths to top of the pack. They're followed by Wholesome and Cossack Prince under the whip. Grosvenor pulled out wide, starting to come home, and Veloso on the fence with 100 to go. Mighty Manitou with Grosvenor the outside, grabbing them quickly. Cossack Prince getting his bit, and Veloso on the rails. But Grosvenor's won it about a nick to Veloso. Half a length to Cossack Prince third.
Other than the derbies, the Caulfield Guineas is Australia's richest race for 3-year-old colts. The 3 young warriors had once again asserted their superiority. But the Grosvenor is another of the Sir Tristram progeny and is a pass.
Racing. And they've jumped away pretty well too, and one of the first out, Latin Saint, quickly went to the lead from Oriental.
Around Australia each year there are 5 major handicaps over the metric mile. Dalmatia in Sydney captured the Epsom, the first of these. The second is the IXL, known as the Toorak Handicap before Henry Jones IXL secured sponsorship of the event. The favourite was the Bart Cummings trained No Peer, but a huge plunge was launched on the Marlborough Cup winner, Magari.
Rails a half getting closer, 1 to Asheen, and then a half to Idaho's Gift from on the rails, Magari, and a length and a half away, No Peer and Pure of Heart. Outside from Idaho's Gift, No Peer eased off the fence. Pure of Heart and Magari together last, but they're only 4 lengths behind the leader. 800 to go, Oriental Ruler a half to Avatar. Asheen's got up third, Latin Saint travelling well behind them. Then No Peer has gone up about 5th on the outside of that bunch from Brewery Boy. Magari's badly snookered on the fence. Idaho's Gift whipping around them and getting closest back to second last, and Magari last with Pure of Heart. 5 lengths between them on the turn, where it's Avatar, Oriental Ruler, and on the outside of them, Asheen. No Peer out about 4 deeps being called on for his effort, and then came Brewery Boy. No Peer struggling and getting closer, pull to the outside. Magari looking for the run. No Peer can't win. Avatar in front. Magari getting out after him with Oriental Ruler and getting closer down the outside. Avatar in front, but Magari's coming all over them near the line. And Magari gets gets up the win about a half length to Avatar. It's being called on for his effort, and then came Brewery Boy. No Peer struggling and getting closer, pull to the outside. McGarry looking for the run. No Peer can't win. Avatar in front. McGarry getting outside after him with Oriental Ruler and getting closer down the outside. Avatar in front, but McGarry's coming all over them near the line. And McGarry gets up the win about a half length to Avatar. Racing. Gala Mascot and on the inside, Queens Road away well. Silver Bounty jumped in the air, missed it a little bit. Lady Eyes.
The rain that dampened the 1,000 Guineas also brought about the undoing of many of the top fancies for the Caulfield Cup, run the same afternoon. Caulfield Guineas winner Grosvenor was sent out favourite at 6-1 in a wide-open betting race. He was one of 3 runners trained by Jeff Murphy. An important riding engagement was champion jockey Brent Thompson, who took the ride on Murphy's other main runner, Gurner's Lane.
Out in the cup, and Brewery Boy a length, Paraparap a half to Grosvenor, Wonderland Lotto, and then Lady Ice over on the inside from Shirako. Wonder Birchwood about 6th, and Carringbush trailing it from Gala Mascot, 1.5, Gurner's Lane, Cossack Prince. Then a length to Just a Dash, Astral in, a length further back, Silver Bounty, Queens Road, Veloso and Port Carling. 10 lengths cover them with 1,000 to go. And here Brewery Boy, but Carringbush has let go suddenly round the outside, has gone up quickly to hit the front. And Carringbush and Paraparap at the 1,000 or the 800, a length and a half now, Birchwood third. Grosvenor's moving up along the rails, and then Lancelotto. Brewery Boy's gone quickly. Gurner's Lane is moving through, and Cossack Prince next under the whip. Then Veloso taken to the outside, and they were followed by Lady Ice and Silver Bounty. With about 500 to go, Carringbush the leader. A half-length Paraparap. Gurner's Lane's running on very doggedly next. Gala Mascot got up the 4th. Grosvenor's hard ridden, and they were followed further back in the field. Then Birchwood dropping out of it. Veloso pulled about 15 wide. Carringbush the leader, but Gurner's Lane grabbed him quickly into the straight, and Gurner's Lane sprinted to the lead. Gala Mascot's out after it from Carringbush, and they're followed by Port Carling, but Gurner's Lane streaking away from them in a heavy going, and Gurner's Lane's going to score a big win in the Caulfield Cup. Gurner's Lane wins by 6 lengths. Gala Mascot has run 2nd, 3rd placing Veloso, 4th. Veloso pulled about 15 wide. Carringbush the leader, but Gurner's Lane grabbed him quickly into the straight, and Gurner's Lane sprinted to the lead. Gala Mascot's out after it from Carringbush, and they're followed by Port Carling, but Gurner's Lane streaking away from them in a heavy going, and Gurner's Lane's going to score a big win in the Caulfield Cup. Gurner's Lane wins by 6 lengths. Gala Mascot has run 2nd, 3rd placing Veloso, 4th.
Tristram, yes, another one, and set the champion Irish-bred stallion well on the way to his first Sires Premiership. His Dam Toyota was...
Kingston Town went on to tackle the WS Cox Plate at Moonee Valley, Australia's most important weight-for-age race. The King had won the Cox Plate the previous 2 years, and no horse in history had won the 3 Cox Plates.
Racing. Caught them pretty well. English Wonder dropped out. Lawman and Deb's Mate collided after the start. Both began okay, and My Axman's the early leader in the centre. From LA Bajou and Fearless Pride. Thompson's going up to head them off and get to the rails. McGarry's 4th. Deb's Mate trapped wide with No Peer keeping it out, and Kingston Town's about 7th. Then came Grosvenor. Lawman pushed right off the track by Rare Form. English Wonder Silver Bounty. 1,300 out at the next corner. Deb's Mate a length and a half. Fearless Pride, and the pace is slow. 2 lengths LA Bajou and a half. My Axman. Wonder Lawman still 3 deep from No Peer. 3 parts to Kingston Town, and then 1 away. Grosvenor, Rare Form and McGarry on the rails. A length and a half, Gurner's Lane, Isle of Man, 2 English Wonder, 1 Silver Bounty. 1,000 out, Deb's Mate in front, 3 parts, Fearless Pride, a length and a half, My Axman outside, LA Pride, a length and a half, My Axman outside, LA Bajou. 1 length then to Lawman, if Higgins can't get him on the track. He was followed then by Kingston Town and No Peer the rails, a length and a half, Grosvenor and Rare Form. They're followed by McGarry, hard ridden, and then a length Gurner's Lane, Isle of Man, English Wonder, Silver Bounty. 600 out, and Fearless Pride went up to Deb's Mate and took a narrow lead. My Axman immediately made his run on the outside from LA Bajou and Lawman. Grosvenor trying to find his way through is Grosvenor with Kingston Town, hard ridden. Then Gurner's Lane around the outside from No Peer and McGarry, Isle of Man. On the turn, 500 out, Fearless Pride and My Axman together. A length and a half, Lawman. Kingston Town can't win. Then LA Bajou and the 3-year-old Grosvenor running on. My Axman took the lead from Fearless Pride. Grosvenor coming down the outside is after them. My Axman in front. Grosvenor and Kingston Town flashing. He might win yet, the champ. Grosvenor took the lead. Oh, Kingston Town swamping them. What a run. Kingston Town wins it and makes it Grosvenor. My Axman
A length and a half, Lawman. Kingston Town can't win. Then LA Bajou and the 3-year-old Grosvenor running on. My Axman took the lead from Fearless Pride. Grosvenor coming down the outside is after them. My Axman in front. Grosvenor and Kingston Town flashing. He might win yet, the champ. Grosvenor took the lead. Oh, Kingston Town swamping them. What a run. Kingston Town wins it next to Grosvenor. My Axman third. Fourth Fearless Pride.
Scenes of mass euphoria followed. It was a piece of racing magic. People would talk about the day years on because in 40 minutes Manikato was also to do something special. Some say it was the King's finest race. But which race do you pick with a champion like this? He was where he did step out. For this was the day of days. An exquisite piece of racing history coming just 40 minutes after Kingston Town had won his third Cox Plate. Those of us at the Valley that day knew we had been blessed. Racing. They've jumped away pretty well.
You know, we discussed the race and I said to Bob, what if I can just sit off them and give it to him easy so he can come into it. And it worked beautifully. The pace was a cracker and I just sat off them and I knew actually coming up with a 600, well this is it. You know, I thought he's going to get it and I straightened up and I remember looking over my shoulder and Roy was looking for a run on Razor Sharp and I thought, well, there's not going to be one there. And when I sort of put the pressure on him, he had this tendency to get in and I thought I'd just get to the line.
Manikato, Razor Sharp sitting in on the fence and then Rani's Palace followed by Road Terrier, Atjar and War Chest and Avatar. On the turn now and Ranch is just the leader, Addington sticking with him a half-length Manikato. Razor Sharp looking for the run and then came Avatar. Ranch is under pressure, Manikato's got him. Manikato's going to get the million, I think he took the lead from Rancher. Razor Sharp running on well from Avatar, but Manikato's cracked the million. He's winning a half-length. Ranch is just the leader, Addington sticking with him a half-length Manikato. Razor Sharp looking for the run and then came Avatar. Ranch is under pressure, Manikato's got him. Manikato's going to get the million, I think he took the lead from Rancher. Razor Sharp running on well from Avatar, but Manikato's cracked the million. He's winning a half-length.
We had savoured the magic moment. So it all... They're 2 in a million, aren't they? Heart thumpers. Together on that day, here at the Valley and within 40 minutes of each other, they combined to bring about one of Australian racing's masterpieces. Kingston Town won his third consecutive Cox Plate. Manikato, a sprinter mind you, passed the $1 million mark in stakes. The whiff of immortality was in the air that day. People cried unashamedly. Hard-nosed punters temporarily forgot the lure of the ring to just stand here and let sentiment run out. And why not? It was one of the undying moments of the turf. If you couldn't feel it, if it couldn't move you, there was something other than blood in your veins. Yet, if you think about it, the formula is stunningly simple. Great horses make great racing. They always have, and they always will. And lucky, how blessed we've been to have had Kingston Town and Manikato racing at the same time, and for so long. This year, the Derby was valued at a record $200,000. The outstanding trio of 3-year-olds, Grosvenor, Cossack Prince and Veloso, were set for another exciting tussle, as recent racing had failed to unearth a possible challenger.
There, Gates fly back and racing. Cool River jumped out very quickly on the inside with Brightman looking for the lead from Dynamo. Then Grosvenor, Cossack Prince out deeper and they were followed then over on the inside by Mon Rafael. 4 lengths Cool River. In third spot, a neck away, Cossack Prince, a length and a half, Reckless Ruler, then Dynamo. Grosvenor about to be hooked to the outside, 2 lengths Mon Rafael and then Veloso. Winter Prince dropped back, passed quickly by Malvita, making its run, and then Prince Comedy and Glen Morriston last of all at the 700-metre mark, and Brightman coming back, led by a length and a half now. Cool River in third place, Cossack Prince over on the inside. Grosvenor getting closer out wider, and they're followed by Veloso picking up ground. Malvita shoved out very deep on the turn. Straightening 500 metres left to go now. Brightman still led by 2 lengths. Second was Cossack Prince. They're followed by Dynamo. Grosvenor about to sprint up quickly with Veloso. They're making their runs together, and then Prince Comedy and Malvita. 300 metres left to grow, and Grosvenor on the outside moved up to grab the lead from Cossack Prince. Veloso finishing fairly well, and they're followed then by Cool River. 200 left to go, and Grosvenor's grabbed the lead in the Derby by a half length. Cossack Prince coming again on the inside. They're well clear of Veloso, but it's Grosvenor on the outside, and Grosvenor's going to win the Derby. Grosvenor wins by 3 parts. Cossack Prince 6 lengths away, third Veloso.
What an incredible season for Sir Tristram and for trainer Jeff Murphy. Murphy, 56, is renowned for his deeds with 3-year-olds, having handled such top-liners as Surround, Sovereign Red, Beau Sovereign, Savoy, Gurners Lane and...
Both of them emerge as top fancies for the Melbourne Cup. Betting on the Cup, as always, was fast and furious, with more than $60 million being invested on the race Australia-wide. Kingston Town was favourite for most of the wagering, until a mammoth plunge was launched on his stablemate Just a Dash, which firmed from 10-1 to 11-2, and consequently replaced Kingston Town as top fancy. Gurners Lane, Mysore Avon and Queenslander Wellington Road were next in commission. Before a crowd of 91,500 people, they're set for the 1982 Melbourne Cup.
They're racing. Port Carling and Kingston Town first out from Noble Cross somewhere, and Mysore Avon and Tohar and Dealer's Choice settle down at the rear. Onto the course proper, Gala Mascot, Noble Comet and Carringbush, and they're crawling. Kingston Town's angling towards the rails now in fourth placing and gets it. Triumphal March has been a comment, and 2 lengths then to Triumphal March and a half to Kingston Town. 3/4 to Gala Mascot, and they were followed by Rose and Thistle the outside from LA Bajou. Port Carling on the inside, and then Wellington Road and Astral in a length, Bianco Lady. Fair followed by Just a Dash, and behind it is Dry Wine. Gurners Lane on the inside, awkwardly positioned from Magistrate, and then came Amaranth being niggled at from Barmax. Back behind them, Mysore Avon towards the rear with Mr. Digby and Dealer's Choice and Tohar together last. Down with 900 to go, they race now. And Brewery Boy a half length in front of Carringbush. Challengers are coming all around the place, however. It's Noble Comment and Kingston Town 4 deep going up to join them. Gala Mascot there with Triumphal March also. Port Carling going well but can't get a run. Kingston Town took the lead on the corner in the Cup, narrowly from Noble Comment, and they were followed by Brewery Boy, Carringbush and Triumphal March the centre. Here's Astral in coming into it, and Port Carling getting out. Noble Comment and Kingston Town is under the whip of the leaders. Coming up them on the outside now is Avon Valley. Next is Astral in and Port Carling. Kingston Town in front of the 200. A length to Noble Comment. Gurners Lane getting a split now. Kingston Town in front. Gurners Lane flying on the inside. He's coming home like a train. Kingston Town joined by Gurners Lane, and Gurners Lane gets up to win the Cup. And next to Kingston Town. Third Noble Comment from Mysore Avon, Bianco Lady. Then Wellington Road, Port Carling, LA.
I suppose he was a bit better than midfield, but then from that point to about 300 metres out, he was just held up a shade. He couldn't get quite a clear run, and I had to switch back inside, and that's when I interfered with Port Carling. And once he got through on the fence, there was a big gap, and the only horse that to beat at that particular time was Kingston Town. He had a command.
But some will say his greatest race was a defeat in the 1982 Melbourne Cup. In the race, the King was so relaxed he was being slapped with the whip in the straight the first time. But in the final straight, it was the great professional, head down, looking for the winning post.
I've still got disappointments about the Melbourne Cup because, I wasn't disappointed with the way I rode him. A lot of people said I went too quick. Maybe I went too quick, but I never spent a penny right up to the 3. I was running 5th or 6th on the fence all the way. I had to go around a few slow ones. And when you're on a horse like Kingston Town, you can't sit back on the fence. I don't believe you can sit back on the fence and hope the runs come. On him, I've had so much success making my own luck on him. It's won him more races than it's cost him.
March the centre. Here's Astral in coming into it, and Port Carling getting out. Noble Comment and Kingston Town is under the whip of the leaders. Coming up them on the outside now is Avon Valley. Next is Astral in and Port Carling. Kingston Town in front of the 200. A length to Noble Comment. Gurners Lane getting a split now. Kingston Town in front. Gurners Lane flying on the inside. He's coming home like a train. Kingston Town joined by Gurners Lane, and Gurners Lane gets up to win the Cup. And next to Kingston Town. Third Noble Comment from Mysore Avon, Bianco Lane.
It was all anticlimactic. Kingston Town's connections, and apparently many others on the course, thought he'd won. And there were and remain a flood of speculations, such as, did he go to the front too soon? But if Malcolm Johnson had got there, he would have been hailed as a genius. Such questions will nag so long as people talk about Melbourne Cups.
More quality foal, who was almost put down by breeder Patrick Hogan, had completed the rare Caulfield Melbourne Cups double as the result of a superlative ride by Mick Dittman. But shouldering 59 kilograms over the 3,200 metres under handicap conditions, it was Kingston Town who gained the admiration of the big crowd. The win gave Sir Tristram a new record for season's progeny earnings, with only 3 months of the year completed. The
Out of the weight for age race, the Linlithgow Stakes. Only a small field, but a really classy field.
In close touch, he doesn't want any breakaway. 1.5 to Mighty Manor, 2.5 to My Axman. 600 out, they're about to turn. Manicato's travelled well, about a half length to Galleon, a length to Mighty Manor 2 and My Axman together. In the straight with 500 to go, and it's Manicato a half length to Galleon, who's doing it all right too. My Axman pulled to the outside now from Mighty Manor 2 at the 300. Manicato's been grabbed by Galleon and My Axman the outside. They've dropped Mighty Manor 2 off. Manicato fighting back. My Axman might cause a boil over. No, Galleon got his head in front of Manicato, but My Axman coming at them. 3 of them in line, 20 metres to go. Galleon and My Axman, and Galleon one at the nose to My Axman. A length to Manicato third, and 4 or 5 lengths away last, Mighty Manor 2.
That was a good race.
Across to Perth, where their first Group 1 race for the year is run just a...
But in a way, Kingston Town's last run in Perth's Western Mail Classic was a lovely way to remember him. Rack and Orbital Lady at the 450. He did it hard, ridden with the whip before the turn. But isn't this a way to remember him? Stretching for the line, desperate to win, the great professional. McAlphy for home, down to the 100 and 200 they come, and Rare Flyer joined by Kingston Town on the outside, getting closer behind them, Cheeky Trot, Grosvenor and McAlphy. Kingston Town getting closer and Rare Flyer. Kingston Town ahead in front, getting closer, fighting back, but the champion's got it won. Kingston Town by a length over. That one was for courage. It brought up 30 wins for $1.6 million.
Big injury after the Western Mail Classic kept Kingston Town away from the racetrack for the rest of the season. He departed with the outstanding record of 41 starts for 30 wins and 7 minor placings for an Australasian record of $1,606,240. And only 7 horses in the world.
Group 1 circuit in Australia is the Schweppes Australasian Oaks, which had its inaugural running at Morphettville in 1982, with victory going to Rose of Kingston. This year, elevated from Group 3 to Group 1 status, the Oaks attracted a strong but even field of local fillies. The Bart Cummings-trained Royal Regatta, who had beaten Rom Stiletto in Melbourne during the spring, was favourite at 2 to 1.
Royal Regatta around the outside, and further back in the field is My Sweetness as they're about to turn for home. They're followed at the head of the others then as they straighten up by Val Cave, and coming into the picture is Royal Blessing. Down with about 300 to go, Confessions is tackling Irish Heiress. Down the outside is Gold Aussie finishing strongly from Royal Regatta. The fillies are spread across the track. Gold Aussie about to go to the front. Royal Regatta, the favourite, is flying home. Royal Regatta on the outside is raced up to Gold Aussie. It's on the outside, Royal Regatta. Gold Aussie kicking again. Royal Regatta wins. Royal Regatta wins the Australasian Oaks from Gold Aussie. Confessions third.
A phenomenal finish with John Letts absolutely lifting Royal Regatta to the line to grab victory in the last stride. With stakes of...
Now race 7, the Surround Stakes, and the winner here, Royal Regatta. Most impressive. She won the Australian Oaks in Adelaide. And coming back to the 1400, I think most people thought it may be just a little bit too short for her. She was ridden by Larry Olsen. Larry making a comeback to race riding. Gelsomino looked home for sure and certain halfway down the straight, but couldn't hold off the fast finishing run by Royal Regatta.
Royal Regatta's last at the 500. Gelsomino allowed rain, and she bounded away. 2 lengths White Wine. Cashmere Queen third. Homemade setting it after the leader, and a length and a half further back is Royal Sprite, and Sunnyvale is next on the inside. Gelsomino first to swing. She's really rocketed away, Gelsomino. She's about 3 lengths White Wine, Homemade, followed by Bold Heather. Then comes Sunnyvale. 150 left to go, and De Montfort pulls the whip on Gelsomino. She's well clear, running on Royal Regatta on the outside. Gelsomino the leader. Royal Regatta is coming fast. Will she make it? Yes, she did. Royal Regatta flew home and got up and won the Surround. Away Gelsomino. She's about 3 lengths White Wine, Homemade, followed by Bold Heather. Then comes Sunnyvale. 150 left to go, and De Montfort pulls the whip on Gelsomino. She's well clear, running on Royal Regatta on the outside. Gelsomino the leader. Royal Regatta is coming fast. Will she make it? Yes, she did. Royal Regatta flew home and got up and won the Surround.
As she flew that last little bit, Royal Regatta dead last on the home turn. Terrific run by her. She looks as though...
Road. The second leg of the Triple Crown series is the Rose Hill Guineas, run over 2,000 metres on the more spacious Rose Hill course on March 19. Mr McGinty and Veloso completely dominated discussions, but the replacement of Wayne Curran with Mick Dittman as the jockey for Strawberry Road kept that colt under notice. Dittman took Strawberry Road straight to the front.
1,000 metres mark. The pace is nice and brisk, and the leader is Strawberry Road. Mr. McGinty is in second place now, eased out outside the heels of that leader. In third spot, over on the inside rail, Tristram Ladd, followed by Kia Mare. A length further back, Mr. Jazz running fifth, and then Baron Kane, El Merzo, followed by Veloso. Sweeping around the outside is Mars K as they near the home turn. Going with it is Razoo. Admiral Lincoln is a long way back in the field, and back towards the tail, Wholesome, and at the flood as they turn for home. Into the straight now, 450 left to go. Mr. McGinty has raced up to join Strawberry Road. Mr. McGinty and Strawberry Road have come away from them. They lead about 4 lengths on Tristram Ladd. Vance is first to go for the whip on Mr. McGinty. The Queenslander Strawberry Road has beaten him off. Strawberry Road kicked away from Mr. McGinty halfway down the straight. The others are headed by Veloso, but it's all Strawberry Road, and it's Queensland's Rosehill Guineas. Didn't at his best, and Strawberry Road came away to beat Mr. McGinty. Third Veloso, fourth Mr. Jones.
Like many
by Kia Mare and Veloso a good way back, but coming to the 200, the Queenslander giving a great sight, Strawberry Road. He kicked, and Strawberry Road's about 2 lengths clear on Mr. McGinty, making no headway. A good gap Veloso, followed by Mr. Jazz, and then Tristram Ladd, but it's a Banana Land Rosehill Guineas. Strawberry Road, he's much too good.
Like many classic winners around the world, Strawberry Road is a product of the Northern Dancer sire line. His Guineas win marked him as an exceptional young horse. With Manicato back in winning form, Bob Hoisted had no hesitation in taking the old champion to Sydney for the $100,000 George Ryder Stakes at Rosehill on Guineas Day. Normally, Manicato would be at odds-on in a weight-for-age race over 1,400 metres, but the parochial Sydney-siders sent out the 3-year-old filly Emancipation favourite ahead of the veteran. Was it really parochialism or just good judgment?
Started him at a length further behind them, looking to have a crack at him. And at the 800, Manicato led her next to Galleon, 2 lengths away in third place, Ideal Planet. A half on the outside to Marquis Star, 1.5 to Avatar, and ahead to Razor Sharp. A little over a length further back, Emancipation, giving these leaders a fair start, and then Manuan, followed by Reform, Vivacity at the head of the others, Northern Reward and Hussar's Command the last 2. 4.50 to go now. Manicato the leader narrowly from Galleon. Galleon had almost drawn level with him when they head for home, and about a length and a half further back then came Marquis Star. Manicato sprinted away from Galleon. Ideal Planet getting out, coming after Manicato now. Inside the 200, Manicato still the leader. Emancipation coming at him quickly on the outside. Manicato the leader. Emancipation getting on turns. Emancipation and Manicato together. Emancipation doing a bit too well. Emancipation coming away from the gallant Manicato. And Emancipation
An outstanding win to an obviously outstanding filly.
After winning the Canterbury Stakes, she was set for the first of her Group 1 wins.
Very quickly, Emancipation is winding up. She's coming after Manny. Emancipation, the 3-year-old filly, is ranged up to the old champion. Emancipation headed Manicato. Manicato kicking again, but Emancipation is a mighty filly. Emancipation streaking away from Manicato and beating just over 2 lengths with Reform and nose away third, and his run was big.
Emancipation was now a favourite for the Doncaster. The handicapper treated her with considerable respect, giving her 1.5 kilograms overweight for age.
Champ went to Sydney for another tilt at the Ryder, but was beaten by the brilliant mare Emancipation. Now, look carefully at this. It's the suburban colt from Campbelltown's last run in a race.
Streaking away from Manicato and beating just...
In all, Manicato won 29 races over 6 seasons. He was only 5 times unplaced in 47 starts. He collected $1.1 million in stakes. He set winning sequences in certain races which I think I can safely predict will never be equal. Excitement generated in Sydney by the Golden Slipper Stakes isn't far behind. The Slipper has been heavily promoted over the years and is now accepted ahead of the Derby and the Sydney Cup as the most important race in New South Wales. This year there were chances conceded to only 4 horses. The Blue Diamond winner, Lover Show, the brilliant Vane colt, Sir Dapper, the unbeaten Vane filly, Purpose, and the very classy Boucher colt, Been There. They're in the stalls and set to run in the 1983 Golden Slipper Stakes.
Good start. Daybreak Lover and Purpose led the way, but Purpose shot clear on settling down, followed by Lover Show, and they're followed by Secunda, La Casier. In behind them, March Magic been there, followed by Talent, and they're followed by Sir Dapper, who's making ground in good stead them at the 600 metres, and it kicked away over Lover Show to an advance of Secunda. They're followed by March Magic holding the rails, and then at the head of the others, Lacazier. Sir Dapper making ground, followed by Talent, been there back on the rails, Bell Tattoo. They're followed after a gap by Top Post, and then Safe Courier well back, Laugh In, Daybreak Lover, and making time well back, Purpose in front past the Ledger. Lover Show is second, been there angling through, looking for the run between the leaders and coming on well, and been there electing to go to the fences, coming at Purpose, but Lover Show, and here's Sir Dapper down the outside. Sir Dapper with a big lunging stride had raced up now to Been There. It's Sir Dapper, Been There and Lover Show, but Sir Dapper forging away with a 1983 Golden Slipper. Sir Dapper beat Been There, Lover Show third, then Bell Tattoo,
Sir
March
Dapper
Magic.
is probably the best son to date of champion sire Vane, who this season became the first Australian-based sire to break the $1 million barrier for a season's progeny earnings. Dapper, who won the Slipper in 1969, before going on to be named Horse of the Year as a 3-year-old. Late in the season...
Next race, and a great trial for the Doncaster here by the winner, Say Sabon. The Doncaster to be run in Sydney next week. There's Say Sabon, the grey, in those grey colours, drifting back along the rail as they settle down.
Zell third, followed by Cobra on the inside, and then comes McGlinchey and Tandrio. A length and a half to show Moran over on the inside of Manu, and wider out as Latins will. A length the Rubens, 1.5 Say Sabon. Farewell Chime Morming, followed by Wellington Road and Ring True. And Manchu is last, approaching the bend at the 550, and Lord of Persia going fast. Leads to Ideal Planet. A length away, third is Cobra, followed by McGlinchey on the outside, and even deeper Tandrio. Even wider still is Latins will. And Show Moran is badly boxed away, and so too Rubens, although Rubens is now switching to the outside. In the stretch by the Ledger, and Ideal Planet shot away. Second, Lord of Persia, Tsar Royal third, followed by McGlinchey, Cobra, Tandrio, and then comes Rubens and Stacey Bon, who's finally getting into the open. Ideal Planet in front. He's got the whip on him, Johnston. Now Stacey Bon is rocketing home. She's looking the good. She gobbles them up, and away she goes. Stacey Bon for the money beat Ideal Planet and 10 in the stretch by the Ledger, and Ideal Planet shot away. Second, Lord of Persia, Tsar Royal third, followed by McGlinchey, Cobra, Tandrio, and then comes Rubens and Stacey Bon, who's finally getting into the open. Ideal Planet in front. He's got the whip on him, Johnston. Now Stacey Bon is rocketing home. She's looking the good. She gobbles them up, and away she goes. Stacey Bon for the money beat Ideal Planet and Tandrio. Then Tsar Royal...
As I mentioned before, a great Doncaster trial by Say Sabon.
With the running of the $150,000 Doncaster handicap. It's the last. Emancipation, following her offhand defeat of Manicato at Rose Hill, was a firm 9-4 favourite. The fact she would have to put her name into the record book to win with 54.5 kilos appeared to concern no one. Bookmakers bet 8-1 bar Emancipation, but were destined for a poor result.
Got the best of the start. Penny Edition and Vivacity slow to leave, but Noble Connection and top of the pack joint leaders on settling down over Emancipation. Sunnyvale, Tandrio, To the Wind and Tsar Royal. Avatar followed by Spectrum Handy, and they're followed by Manu, and Rare Form is deep.
When it did come, she just put the race beyond doubt in 2 strides. You know, it was unbelievable feeling.
Emancipation behind those, and Rare Form has gone deep, but is making ground as they swing into the straight now. Top of the pack claimed by Avatar. Tandrio's in behind them. Spectrum. Here's Tsar Royal coming out with a good finish. Emancipation's getting into the clear along the inside. It's Avatar coming atop of the pack now. Emancipation's in the clear, and she shot away, but here's the New Zealander Ring True, putting in a big finish down the outside. Emancipation in front of Ring True, but she's going well, the filly, and Emancipation has it won. Emancipation wins the Doncaster. Ring True second, foregone conclusion. Or Hussars...
Putting the lead. Avatar is 3 deep, followed by Tandrio, and behind them Spectrum looking for the out. The same can be said for Emancipation and Tsar Royal on the outside. At the 220 top of the pack, and Avatar with Emancipation getting into the clear. The little 3-year-old filly shot away. On the outside trying to match her is Ring True, but it's Emancipation. Emancipation safely holding Ring True. On the outside, foregone conclusion, but Emancipation, she's brilliant. Emancipation wins the Doncaster from Ring True and foregone conclusion.
This is her greatest victory.
Suppose it probably was one of the best wins of her career, no doubt, you know, because...
Hussars command third, then Manu...
Emancipation was easily the best racehorse I've trained.
Sire Bletchingly, out of a mare by the 1972 Doncaster handicap winner Gunsind. Gunsind, what
had been heavy enough for Doncaster Day, but heavy rain over the subsequent 24 hours saw it deteriorate badly prior to the running of the AJC Derby. Randwick trainers described the track as the heaviest they'd seen it. The conditions negated the chances of two of the main contenders, the New Zealanders Mr. McGinty and Secured Deposit. This paved the way for a memorable battle between Veloso and Strawberry Road. The starter has them set for the $250,000 Australian Jockey Club Derby.
Their racing got them away to a good start in the Derby. Veloso and Brahmani began well, so too did Strawberry Road and Mr. McGinty. Strawberry Road coming at Kiamare and Hermod, who make a line of three, ahead of Brahmani, Admiral Lincoln, Veloso, Dynamo, Mr. McGinty, Seradio, Razoo. Covered in mud, third last over Hayai and Secured Deposit. Strawberry Road just led the way from Kiamare with about 650 metres to go. Veloso in the good position there is third. They're followed by Dynamo, ahead away, yielding ground, Hermod. Mr. McGinty hard-ridden on the outside, but running on strongly. And then a gap, Brahmani dropping out, Tristram Lad, Admiral Lincoln, followed by Seradio. Mr. Jazz is making ground in a hurry, followed after a long gap then by well back Secured Deposit amongst the tail enders. Strawberry Road led from Kiamare as they make the turn. Veloso third on the outsiders, running on strongly. It's Strawberry Road in front now over the rise. Veloso's in the second placing, the rider feeling for the whip. Strawberry Road is finding plenty down to the 200 metres. Veloso can't make any impression, and Strawberry Road is racing away from Veloso. It's Strawberry Road's Derby with about 100 to go. What a fine performance, and Strawberry Road is going to street them. Strawberry Road wins the Derby by about 5 lengths. Veloso second. 12 lengths away third, Kiamare, then Mr. Jazz Hermod.
And it's Strawberry Road by about 3/4 of a length on Kiamare. A length of Veloso popped the question, and about 3 or 4 then to Mr. McGinty. On top of the rise in the Queenslander, Strawberry Road. He's a length and a half Veloso and 2 1/2 to Kiamare. But Strawberry Road, he's going great guns. Veloso making no impression on him. And the Queensland combination of L. Dittman and Strawberry Road are absolutely donkey-licking their rivals. Veloso second, a minute away third, Kiamare.
The second horse is Veloso, owned by John Singleton and Larry Pickering. As Singleton said later, but for Strawberry Road, he would have won the Derby by 16 lengths. A fact he was to remember when he subsequently bought a share in the champion.
Then Mr. Jazz Hermod.
Wet or dry, it makes little difference to this handsome grandson of the international stud champion Nijinsky. The official margins were Strawberry Road by 5.5 lengths to Veloso, with Kiamare 16 lengths away third.
Racing in the Sydney Cup, and Veloso got the best of the start, bounced out cleanly, Bianco Lady, and Secured Deposit putting on pace, and they're followed by Il Rubino, and Twig Moss is getting along the inside rail, and Twig Moss has headed off Secured.
What the hell's going to knock it over this time? And there was nothing came out of the rut, and when I went back to find Veloso, I had to put my glasses down because he'd shot about 3 or 4 lengths clear, and I couldn't believe it. You get used to a horse like that, second, third, second. You just don't think it's ever going to crack it, and I think that made it all the more exciting when he did.
Leaders are starting to pack up. Secured Deposit just in front of Veloso as they make the bend. It's Veloso coming at Secured Deposit. Here's Fountain Court hooking into the clear, and they're followed by Bianco Lady. Veloso shot to the lead over the top of the rise. Secured Deposit is battling back well under the whip. Fountain Court behind them. Veloso is well clear halfway down the straight. Secured Deposit is in the second placing, battling on well, but it looked like Veloso is streaking the field now, and Veloso streaking away. In the second placing, Secured Deposit, but it's all Veloso, and Veloso easily wins it. Secured Deposit is in the second placing, either Fountain...
Revenge for Veloso, who'd been placed in the Canterbury Guineas, Rosehill Guineas, Tancred Stakes and the Derby before this breakthrough. Although the Adelaide Cup also fell to a visiting galloper, there was a strong hometown flavour through the association of John Letts. Letts, one of Australian racing's most popular and colourful personalities, combined perfectly with the master trainer of stayers, George Hanlon, to win the Cup with the New Zealand-bred gelding Amaranth. For Letts, it was his 99th success in a Cup race. He rounded off the 100 at a provincial fixture several weeks later. It was Hanlon.
And running down past the 800-metre mark, it's Kiamare attempting to lead throughout. It shifted off the rail, and the runs come for Our Shout. Our Shout getting up on the inside. Oh, Kiamare came back to the rail in front of it, and Our Shout was pratted back. Over on the outside, Big Bronson is boxing on, and Dealer's Choice, last year's winner, has come from near the tail. As they're about to turn, and Magistrate has poked up between them, the 11-year-old, and here comes Magistrale. Out wider on the track to Jurmio, and Lorelei Lee is searching for a run, badly in need of one. homeward bound in the 1983 Cup, and out wide to Jurmio and Magistral. With Magistrate, Kia Mare, Lorelei Lee. Here's Charzula out wide and past the baton, and Zama from the tail. It's going to be a big go. It's to Jurmio, Magistral, and joining in is Amarant. He's coming home out of the clouds. Amarant gets to them close to home, and it's going to be Amarant's Cup. Amarant got home about a half head on the... With Magistrate, Kia Mare, Lorelei Lee. Here's Charzula out wide and past the baton, and Zama from the tail. It's going to be a big go. It's to Jurmio, Magistral, and joining in is Amarant. He's coming home out of the clouds. Amarant gets to them close to home, and it's going to be Amarant's Cup. Amarant got home about a half head on the line to Jurmio second. Magistral.
Like most handicaps over the metric 2 miles, this year's Brisbane Cup was wide open. Adelaide Cup winner Amarant was joint favourite at 11-2, along with the AJC St Ledger winner Forward Charge. The 3-year-old was given every chance, but at the halfway mark, Amarant was well back and in big trouble.
Sweet Jamaica with rank. 600 metres left to go. Lancelot the leader as they swing onto the bend, a half length on Sir Riverton. Forward Charge a half length away third, then Lorelei Lee. Jiff on the outside, starting a big run. There's a fall. There's 2 down as they come onto the home turn. 2 of them came down. Around the bend now, 400 metres left to go. Lancelot's the leader, a half length in front. Forward Charge after him quickly on the outside. Noble Heights has now popped the big question. Amarant's getting a run in the centre. Bound to Honour on the extreme outside with Rose and Thistle. Forward Charge has taken the lead, 200 to go, but here's the favourite. Amarant's loomed up to go to the lead on the outside, and Amarant is spearing away from them over the concluding stages. He's going to win it brilliantly. Amarant by 3 lengths, Bound to Honour second, tight for third. Lady Capulet all four. Now 400 metres left to go. Lancelot's the leader, a half length in front. Forward Charge after him quickly on the outside. Noble Heights has now popped the big question. Amarant's getting a run in the centre. Bound to Honour on the extreme outside with Rose and Thistle. Forward Charge has taken the lead, 200 to go, but here's the favourite. Amarant's loomed up to go to the lead on the outside, and Amarant is spearing away from them over the concluding stages. He's going to win it brilliantly. Amarant by 3 lengths, Bound to Honour second, tight for third. Lady Capulet all forward Charge, then Lancelot.
A marvellous staying effort by Amarant. And
with Rose and Thistle. Forward Charge has taken the lead, 200 to go, but here's the favourite. Amarant's loomed up to go to the lead on the outside, and Amarant is spearing away from them over the concluding stages. He's going to win it brilliantly. Amarant by 3 lengths, Bound to Honour second, tight for third. Lady Capulet all forward Charge, then Lancelot.
A marvellous staying effort by Amarant.